The Raiders made a surprise move on Friday when they cut former All-Pro punter Marquette King. Reports out of Oakland say Jon Gruden parted ways with King because of issues with his personality. King became a fan favorite thanks to his celebrations and dancing after punts, but former coach Jack Del Rio also had issues with King's antics after he picked up taunting and celebration penalties back in 2016. King is the latest victim of Gruden's roster overhaul this offseason. Shannon, what's going on with Gruden?
Apparently Gruden didn't like Marquette King's attitude or personality. Seems to me Jon Gruden is the only one that can have an attitude or personality with that Chucky, those snarls that he plays up on the sideline. It's hard for me to believe a man that Jon Gruden has never met, and he being able to judge this man by what he sees on television. Skip it. That's a punter. I get it. And he's not a quarterback or wide receiver or defensive guy. But don't you think Jon Gruden could have gone to Marquette King and said, "Look, son, we need you to cut down some of these these antics." Mm-hmm. I think he could have gone to him, and I think Marquette King would have said, "You know what? Okay, coach, no problem."
Could have. Yeah.
So I want to make sure I'm hearing this correctly. So Marquette King seems to be the problem, his personality. Now the Raiders finished 26th in pass defense. They were 23rd in scoring offense, 29th in turnover margin. But the punter that had the third best net average in the NFL, he was the problem. That's the issue. Marquette King. Mm-hmm. I don't like anything that the Raiders have done this offseason. First and foremost, you know what that is, Skip. Hiring that guy. Mm-hmm. Because I believe the time has passed him by.
Yep.
And to make $10 million on what? Because he's Watu Banana? Mm-hmm. Or he can call some play and get...
Watu Spider Banana.
Yeah.
Don't leave out the spider.
Spider's an important part.
How about this here? It's called flow pass. Mm. That's all it is. It's flow pass. You put all that other stuff on it. It's flow pass right, flow pass left.
That is exactly true.
And yep. So I don't get it, Skip. I don't get it. Okay, you save $1 million.
Yep.
$1 million. You're about to have Ndamukong Suh come visit you. So that means you have interest in talking to him, mm-hmm. or you wanted him, but he like at the last second said, "No, I'm good." But it's just hard for me to believe that this man's antics, you couldn't have talked to him yep. and says, "I don't need these unsportsmanlike, these taunting penalties."
Yep.
The guy put at least every year is putting 15, 20 punts inside the 20, mm-hmm. making teams have to travel the long way in order to score points. Mm-hmm. And believe me, teams didn't seem to have a problem scoring points against your defense. Mm-hmm. But that's okay. We good. He'll look good. He won't be able to get number 7 in the blue and orange, mm-hmm. but he'll get another number. He's going to go right up to Denver and hang him up there about 60 yards.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what's going to happen.
You going to put in a call for him? Or?
I'll let it be known I tweeted it.
Oh, you tweeted it?
I did.
Oh.
Said I hope the Broncos sign it.
Nobody noticed, but it's...
Oh, they did notice. Oh, you got jokes. You got jokes this morning, okay?
So, Jon Gruden is no joke. And I'm going to tell you again, this is the guy I know, the Gruden I know. That guy on Monday Night Football, he turned on the charm. That's not the real Jon Gruden. That guy really cleaned up his act. That Jon Gruden on Monday Night Football up in the booth, mm-hmm. that guy sanitized his language and his opinions of a lot of football players that he now has some control over as the head coach of the Oakland Raiders. Mm-hmm. And I was around Gruden in Oakland. Man, he created a force field. I know a lot of people who know Gruden, who followed him all the way up. And remember, Gruden's dad was an assistant football coach under Dan Devine at Notre Dame. Remember the Joe Montana Cotton Bowl game in which he came off the training table with hypothermia to lead, I think it's the most sensational, improbable comeback I've ever witnessed on a football field. And I was there that day, and it was below zero wind chill at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. And John was on the sideline, but his father made him go sit the bus because he was about to freeze to death. But John grew up in football, watching his father coach, and then his father became a pro scout for a number of NFL teams. So that's his background. Then he fought his way up the ranks, small college, big college. Then, as you know, Packers, Eagles, Raiders.
He was my brother's position.
He was, that's right. That's a good one. And he was highly respected as a boy wonder offensive mind. And so here he comes with real old school mentality. And the first thing he's going to look at, and I agree with you, he should have given Marquette King just a chance. He should have sat with him just for 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Just give him a chance. Look in his eyes. Just look in his eyes and see what you see. But Jon Gruden is so old school that he is just offended by any punter who wants to become a media star or an internet star. See Chris Cluey, Pat McAfee, Steve Weatherford, any of those kind of guys. Like the punter to him is to be seen and not heard from at all.
Okay.
And they are expendable and they are replaceable. And I enjoyed Marquette King because I think he's really good at what he did.
Yes.
And Marquette didn't want to become a media star off the field as much as he just wanted to be himself on the field.
Right.
And I was good with that because did he self-promote off the field or try to become a big star? He did not.
No.
Those other guys I just named, they did. And what happened to Brad Wing, close friend of Odell's?
Right.
Gone, right? Because they're just expendable. So, look, Jon Gruden wants to be Bill Belichick, my way or the highway.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, this guy, he is a force field for better or for worse. He has high burnout factor on his players because for a while it'll really work because he creates tension in the locker room, like what they call creative tension, where everybody's going to be on pins and needles and they're going to take their game up a couple of levels because of that. But he wants to be that Belichickian where everybody's afraid of him. And I witnessed a couple times John in screaming matches with the great Al Davis. This was the owner and the legend of the Oakland Raiders at that point, and John was a very young coach, and he just screaming at him. And as you know, he finally forced a trade that he got traded to Tampa.
Yeah, well, help me understand, Skip. His whole while in Tampa, how many times did they have a top 5 offense?
Well, what happened? Look what happened. John built that team with help from Al, obviously, but he built that team that got Tuck ruled in Foxborough.
Yes.
And that team was really loaded and had a chance to go win the Super Bowl. I'm not sure that team with that coach could have beaten the St. Louis Rams.
Right.
Greatest show on turf. Belichick could because he had the defensive.
It might have been close because you remember, Skip, that 13-12 game. When Tampa lost it the first year to the greatest show on turf.
They did.
That was a heck of a game.
Right, so that was Gruden at his peak in Oakland.
Yes.
And then the team that he built, then Callahan took it over the next year, Bill Callahan, and then they lost to Gruden in the Super Bowl.
Right.
So that was the height of Jon Gruden and the height of Jon Gruden. And then after that ended, and he needed to go find another quarterback, couldn't find one. So his only positive right now is he inherits a Derek Carr.
Right.
Who
I'm
don't
still
know.
out on.
Yeah.
I'm
okay.
still, I don't.
I cannot argue with you on that because I haven't seen enough over the last year or so. I know he's been hurt, but I'm not sure.
I saw that one year in which he got MVP consideration, but I saw the years before and I saw last year.
Yep.
And that's not the consistency that you need in order for you to go to where you think you can go.
Yep.
But I'm just trying to. What in Tampa though, Skip? He have a top 5 offense in Tampa. He had a top 5 offense. Top 10 offense in Tampa. No.
Nope.
So
find a quarterback.
Why can't he? That's Jon Gruden.
They had like 14 different
Joey, hold on, Skip. With all the tape that he watches and all those guys that come in that he can't find, Jon Gruden can't find a quarterback. Now, so if you're watching the tape or what? Or is it Gordon Ramsay? Is he watching reruns of the cooking show? Because if he is watching as much tape as he said he is, he should be able to find a quarterback, Skip. Oh, it's more to it than being, snarling on there and having all these antics that you see. But look, Marquette, don't worry about it because he's from the crib. He's from Macon. He went to Fort Valley. We used to beat the brakes off Fort Valley when I was at Alabama State. Yeah, blow the doors off them. That's before not when they had Greg Lord and Eddie Anderson. We didn't beat them then.
But Macon wasn't your crib.
Well, it's close. I mean, that's in between. It's right there near Atlanta. It's close. I mean, Georgia boy.
You're going to claim it?
Georgia.
Okay.
We claim, like, Texas.
Long ways from there. I don't like the whole state your crib.
Florida boys claim Florida. Texas claim Texas.
Yeah.
We claim Georgia.
All right.
But he went to Fort Valley, so
did.
he HBCU. But I believe Jon Gruden, if he goes to this young man and says, enough, we can't have unsportsmanlike penalties. Because I get it. Because when your defense is bad, the last thing you need for them to do is to have to cover less field. You want them to cover more.
Yep.
So just go to him and says, enough. I believe Marquette King would have said, okay. But that's not the route he chose.
Not the route he chose.
Marquette gonna look good without.
Okay.
Can you imagine them booming, puffing that thing there mile high? Woo!
That would make John look bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the whole purpose.
Well, by the way, on paper right now, it looks to me like the Raiders are the fourth best team in this division, right?
Good luck with Marshawn.
Yeah.
Good luck with Beast Mode.
Okay. Well, good luck with that defense. Good
Yeah.
luck with a lot of things. But I watched what Gruden could do, and I'm going to say it one more time. He created the greatest force field of energy I've seen this side of what Jimmy Johnson did early on in Dallas, 91, 2, 3, 4. In there, he didn't make it to 94, 93.
Yeah.
So that he is like Jimmy Johnson, but I don't think he's quite in Jimmy's class as an overall coach. But if he can break through early, he will break through. And I just still have this gut feeling he'll break through, even though I can't do it on paper because they are the fourth best team. But I'm not going to bet against him for a short run. And it's only going to be short. But you would like him for a little while if you were playing for him.
What you mean short?
Well,
that man got a 10-year, $100 million. He better play that. He better coach that contract out.
No, what happened was it took that kind of contract to lure him out of the Monday night booth, but it's really a short-term contract because I believe Al Davis' son just wanted to get Gruden for a short haul and hope that the window was about that open and that great things could happen in that little bit of space right there. And that's what's about to happen.
For $100 million?
Yeah, that's what you paid him.
I'd offer Coach Belichick $150 and
Well,
try to lure him from New England.
I think he's on the market right now. That's just me.
Horrible
Yeah.
right now. Yeah.
I'd have gave Coach Belichick $150.
Well, the expectations for John Gruden certainly aren't low with that contract. Next up, ESPN reported that Rob Gronkowski